So this is a verse which is glorifying the position of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is having unlimited and wonderful opulences. In what sense? In the sense that he can bless even a person who is born of a lowest of men, can spread the signs of devotional service, can propagate Krishna consciousness. This is the whole tattva of the Krishna conscious movement, that to preach one's birth is not the criteria, and one's advancement in Krishna consciousness doesn't depend on what kind of birth he has taken, but more so his knowledge in Krishna consciousness, his practice, and more so when he is blessed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can propagate the signs of Krishna consciousness across the world. And here in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in this chapter, which is titled as Lord Instructs Sanatana Goswami, Sanatana Goswami is one of the foremost of devotee or disciple of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu among the 6 principal Goswamis who are direct disciples of Lord Chaitanya, who was similarly as mentioned here, was unlimitedly blessed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to preach the signs of Krishna consciousness. He broadcasted all the instructions that he received from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Varanasi, and his teachings are indispensable for anyone who wants to advance in Krishna consciousness. He becomes an authority in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta and the conclusions. Srila Prabhupada also quotes about his teachings in several of his teachings in his books, and even in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, in this chapter also, in several places, Prabhupada quotes some of the important conclusions of established through the teachings of Sanatana Goswami. So today is disappearance day of Sanatana Goswami. So we'll try to understand about Sanatana Goswami, that how through his life and his how he became so dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he blessed him and authorized him to propagate Krishna consciousness. So Sanatana Goswami appeared in this world in 1488. 1488 means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in which year? 1486. Just 2 years after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, Sanatana Goswami appears in this world. And Jiva Goswami describes in Laghu Vaishnava Toshani about the lineage of Sanatana Goswami's family lineage. So Jiva Goswami himself is a nephew of Sanatana and Rupa Goswami. He is son of the third brother of course, they had many brothers and sisters. He is born to Kumara Deva, and of the many sons and children of Kumara Deva, 3 sons of Kumara Deva were very prominent. They became great devotees of Lord Chaitanya. One is Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and third the Anupama. They are previously known as Sri Amara, Sri Santosha, and Sri Vallabha. So when they got initiated from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so they are known as Rupa, Sanatana, and Anupama. So Sanatana Goswami appeared, and he spent his early days in the Gauda Desha, and he took his formal education in Sakurma, which is near Gauda Desha. Gauda Desha is that place of region where Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition was practiced. The modern Bengal and the portion of Bangladesh is considered as Gauda Desha, where Lord Chaitanya traversed. And he was a great scholar by his younger days. He sought his education under a great scholar by name Vidya Vachaspati. He is also another great scholar, an associate of Lord Chaitanya. He was also a logician. And by their very great scholarship and their intellectual ability, so those days in Bengal, it was ruled by Mughals. Of course, whole India was ruled by Mughals, for that matter. And Nawab Hussain Shah was ruling the region of Gauda Desha. And the brothers Rupa and Sanatana, their intellectual ability and their administrative skills attracted the attention of Nawab Hussain Shah, and they were forced to take up a role of minister in the administration of Nawab Hussain Shah, although they were not willing. But the circumstances were such that they could not deny also at the same time. Sometimes there will be a compelling situation. And that's how they took the role of ministers in the ministry of Nawab Hussain Shah. And practically it is said that, it is described that the whole administration of Nawab Hussain Shah was completely dependent on these brothers. He was hardly there in the constituency because Mughals are always desirous or are habitual of hunting and conquering the territories of neighboring states. So in the absence of Nawab Hussain Shah, both the brothers Rupa and Sanatana Goswami used to very expertly manage. But at the heart, they were always thinking that they were attracted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were living in Ramakeli. Their administration was happening while they were living in Ramakeli, and Nawab Hussain Shah had given them a good royal facility to live. And Sanatana Goswami was always thinking to meet, associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And like that, they were always meditating that how to surrender to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But in the meanwhile, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also takes sannyasa and he moves to Jagannath Puri from Bengal. So that was even more remorsing for the brothers because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has gone far away from Bengal. So chances of meeting was even more bleak, apparently. But however, after a few years, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to show his mercy upon the brothers, he comes back to Bengal on a visit, and he comes to Ramakeli and personally meets the three brothers, Rupa, Sanatana and Anupama, and blesses them. So inspired by the meeting of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the brothers contemplated how to dedicate themselves to the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And immediately, Rupa Goswami and his brother Anupama, they both left Ramakeli. Rupa Goswami resigned from the ministership and they started to travel to Mathura. And in the meanwhile, Sanatana Goswami is still there in the administration. He is also contemplating how to give up the ministership. And in one fine day, he gets a dream where a Brahmana is gifting him Srimad Bhagavatam and instructing him to read Srimad Bhagavatam. So when he is in the dream, suddenly he wakes up and sees that there is nothing like that. And he thinks that it's a dream and gets into the routine daily affairs. And while he got up and got ready, a Brahmana really appears at his house and gifts him a Bhagavatam and instructs him to study Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's how he started reading Srimad Bhagavatam and got himself absorbed on the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. So much so that he became averse to the duties in the ministry, and he would not attend the darbar of the king. And there was a question that why Sanatana is not coming to darbar. So he puts a sick leave. Falsely he puts a sick leave, saying that he is sick and not able to attend. But at the home, at his residence, he is happily reading Srimad Bhagavatam along with many Brahmanas in the association of Brahmanas. So king becomes so disturbed because practically, as I said, the Mughal administration under Nawab Hussain Shah was completely under the hands of Sanatana Goswami. And Rupa Goswami had already left earlier. So he sends a physician to really check what sickness is that he is absent so many days after days, he is not coming. So physician meets Sanatana Goswami, testing happens, and he finds that there is no sickness at all. He comes back and reports to the king, and the king becomes very disturbed and annoyed, and he immediately reaches Ramakeli and at his bungalow, at his residence, and sees that Sanatana Goswami is happily engaged in topics of discussions of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he becomes more annoyed and he chastises him, saying that you said that you are sick, but you are so happy here. My physician said that you are not sick at all, and you are happily engaged in Bhagavatam. Who will take care of the administration? He said that already your brother has left me and made us handicapped. Now you are also like this. So Sanatana Goswami found that this is the right time now to petition him. He says that I am no more suitable for you. Please find someone else as my replacement. So king was very, very much annoyed further, and he asks him to surrender or get behind the bars. So Sanatana Goswami was determined that he wants to now dedicate himself to teachings of Bhagavatam. He wants to dedicate himself to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was finally imprisoned, and he Nawab Hussain Shah ordered his soldiers to prison him until he comes back, because he wanted to also go further to Odisha to conquer the land there. So in the meanwhile, he was imprisoned. And while he was imprisoned, this news reaches his brother Rupa Goswami, and he sends a message through an arrangement to Sanatana Goswami and sends some money also, so that he can find a way to get himself relieved from the prison. And as he got the news, as a note from Rupa Goswami, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has reached Mathura, Sanatana Goswami becomes very happy and he makes a plan at how to get out of the state of imprisonment. Now one should understand that this imprisonment of Sanatana Goswami should not be seen like a conditioned soul, how they get imprisoned sometime for their misdeeds. No, when conditioned soul gets imprisoned, put behind the bars, so that is out of their pure karma. But Sanatana Goswami putting behind the bars, although the reason is not that because of his karma, but Lord Chaitanya wants to teach to the world that how devotees, when they take up the process of Krishna consciousness, they are actually declaring a war against Maya. And sometimes because of the past engagements, it may so happen that one may have to go through such challenges and experience that how Maya is so strong. It will not allow you to take up Krishna consciousness easily. It's not going to be a cakewalk. Someone who wants to advance in Krishna consciousness or take up Krishna consciousness practices in his life, so he has to experience sometimes a reversal situation. So that is the situation of Sanatana Goswami. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to show that how Sanatana Goswami is so determined in Krishna consciousness that even in spite of all the challenges, he will come out successful to pursue his desire of assisting Lord Chaitanya. That is what we can understand when we see Sanatana Goswami also is put under certain kind of situation where he is put behind the bars. So, like that, Sanatana Goswami, when he gets the message from Rupa Goswami that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has reached Mathura, and he makes a plan, and he makes an arrangement with the jail keeper. He speaks very sweet words with the jail keeper and pleads him to release him from the jail. That conversation is recorded in this chapter. Very nice to hear that how Sanatana Goswami, how he handled exactly such a precarious situation. Sanatana Goswami told the Muslim jail keeper, "Dear sir, you are a saintly person and a very fortunate." He is addressing the jail keeper, "You are a saintly person." But in the previous verse, the author says, Yavana Rakshaka Pashaka Hite Lagila. He is declared as Yavana, is a meat eater. When Sanatana Goswami received his note from Rupa Goswami, he became very pleased. He immediately went to the jail superintendent, who was a meat eater, and spoke as follows. He was actually a meat eater, but you see Sanatana Goswami very intelligently is speaking. Because that is not a situation where you can win by fight. Where you can win by showing your physical power. Devotees are very intelligent for that matter. They know how to deal with different reversal situation. Here, Sanatana Goswami is trying to release himself through a very sweet and diplomatic and polite words. You have full knowledge of revealed scripture such as Quran and similar books. If one releases a conditioned soul or imprisoned person according to religious script principles, he himself is also released from material bondage by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Sanatana Goswami is saying, by releasing me, actually you are also getting released from the material bondage, which is actually true. Sanatana Goswami continued, previously I have done so much for you. So he is reminding, because Sanatana Goswami was a minister, right? So naturally as a minister he will be very good to his subordinates. And this is a situation where it is reverse. No, minister has come under the grip of a subordinate, a jail keeper. Now I am in difficulty. Please return my goodwill by releasing me. Here are the 5,000 gold coins. Please accept them. By releasing me, you will receive the results of pious activities and gain material profit as well. Thus, you will profit in two ways simultaneously. In this way, Sanatana Goswami convinced the jailkeeper, who replied, "Please hear me, my dear sir. I am willing to release you, but I am afraid of the government." So, actually, Prabhupada further explains, the jailkeeper is actually more greedy to get more money. That's why it happens typically in the government when you go for work. No, they will not directly say yes. They will beat around the bush to get the work done, to propose their demands. So Sanatana replied, "There is a danger. There is no danger. Nawab has gone to the south. If he returns, tell him that Sanatana went to pass stool near the bank of Ganges, and that as soon as he saw the Ganges, he jumped in." Basically, he is trying to say that you tell to the Nawab, if he asks, "Where is Sanatana?" tell him that I committed suicide while I went to pass stool and urine. Tell him I looked for a long time, but I could not find any trace of him. He jumped in with his shackles, and therefore he was drowned and washed away by the waves. He jumped with the shackles, because someone who jumps in the Ganges, sometimes he will come up, no? So king will ask, where is the body? So even the body is not traceable because he jumped with the shackles. Shackles are very heavy, they are iron shackles. You see how intelligently he is convincing the jailkeeper. There is no reason for you to be afraid, for I shall not remain in this country. I shall become a mendicant and go to the holy city of Mecca. He is saying I will go to Mecca. It is because if he says Mecca, it will be pleasing to the jailkeeper because he is also a Mohammedan. So for a Mohammedan, Mecca is dear. So he may get himself released by saying that I am going to Mecca. And it's also true that Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami, because they took a profession under a Mughal emperor, so whole society, the Hindu society, outcasted the brothers because of taking service under a Mughal, under a Mohammedan. So they were practically seen as half Muslims. And it is easy also for him to, the jailkeeper, to believe that yes, you are true, you will go to Mecca, because whole world is seeing you as a Musliman. Sanatana Goswami could see that the mind of the meat eater was still not satisfied. He then stacked 7,000 gold coins before him. When the meat eater saw the gold coins, he was attracted to them. He then agreed, and that night he cut Sanatana's shackles and let him cross the Ganges. In this way, Sanatana Goswami was released. However, he was not able to walk along the path of the fortress. Walking day and night, he finally arrived at the hilly tract of land known as Patada. So like this, Sanatana Goswami gets himself released using his wisdom and situational intelligence, and crosses over the Ganges. Someone may ask that how devotees, Sanatana Goswami is a devotee, how he can engage himself in an act of bribing, because in the moral understanding, at least in today's circumstances, bribing means it's an offense. Both the person who is giving bribe and person who is receiving the bribe, both are equally, punishable. So here we see Sanatana Goswami is also taking to the process of refusing of bribing the jailkeeper. So one should understand that devotees, when they act, their purpose of action is always to please Krishna. They don't act according to their whims. They act according to the guidance of the scriptures, and they act according to the guidance of the spiritual master. Sanatana Goswami's situation is not that he had any other option. No. Neither he could use the force to release himself, nor he could use any external force to get himself released. So nor the sweet words also could get any result, because ultimately the jailkeeper did not just alone by sweet words he agreed. Even after giving 5,000 coins, he was not impressed. So as he was given another 2,000 coins, he started thinking, yes, I can do that. So devotees of Krishna, devotees of Lord, they are considered to be the because Krishna is absolute, and he's whatever Krishna does is the highest moral activity. And devotees of the Lord, who are always interested to only please the Lord and act on the directions of the scriptures, they are also greatest moralist. That's how we see the position of pure devotee. Of course, we cannot imitate what Sanatana Goswami is doing. That we start resorting to the practice of bribing. As said, it has to be done under the guidance of one should not act according to one's own whims. So act of Sanatana Goswami bribing is not whimsical activity. That was the only remedy option that was available to him. So, like this, Sanatan Goswami reached further. He faces many more challenges in reaching Varanasi, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was living in Varanasi and he wanted to somehow reach Varanasi. And in this way, he reaches a hotel. When he reaches a hotel to stay, the hotel keeper gets to know that Sanatan Goswami is having some more gold coins, because Sanatan Goswami took assistance of his assistant called Ishana. So Ishana was carrying 8 gold coins with him. And the hotel keeper, because of astrological power, he could understand and figure out that Sanatan Goswami is having 8 gold coins, and somehow in this night I will kill him and take away those 8 coins. So Sanatan Goswami received very unnatural and superficial kind of hospitality. Sometimes we can figure out someone does give a kind of very artificial and over hospitality. We can understand, we can figure out. It is said also that Ati Bhakti Chor Lakshan. Sometimes giving over reception, one can easily figure out. At least devotees can figure out. So Sanatan Goswami understood there is something wrong in his behavior, that he is giving so much treatment to us, that there must be some quote in his intentions. So he immediately asks Ishana that, what are you carrying? Do you have any money with you? Do you have any wealth with you? So Ishana says, I have 7 gold coins. How many? How much he had? He had 8, but he said, I have 7. He thought that 1 I will keep for myself. So he immediately blasted Ishana, saying that you are carrying a death knell with you. Why? Because easily someone can kill you and take away these coins from us. So he takes that gold coins, 7 gold coins, and immediately goes to the shopkeeper and hand over to him. Please take this 7 gold coins and help us to cross over this hilly tract. So looking at the behavior of Sanatan Goswami, he got impressed. So the shopkeeper, the hotel keeper got impressed and said that if you had not given me on your own, I had a plan to kill you in this night and take away the 7 gold coins. So because you became very honest and very benevolent, you please keep the 7 gold coins with you only. I don't need that now. But Sanatan Goswami says, if you don't take, someone else will come and kill us and take away from us these coins. So please, you only keep this with you. Be happy and help us to cross the hilly tracts of this region. So in that way, he gets impressed and he gives them 4 men to assist Sanatan Goswami to cross over the hilly tracts and go further towards Varanasi. So as they crossed the hilly tract, he understood that, Sanatan Goswami understood that this Ishana lied me. He has 1 more gold coin with him. So he asked him, do you have some more wealth with you? So Ishana says, yes, I have 1 more gold coin with me. So he says that you please go back home. Keep the coin with you and get lost. Go back to home. Sanatan Goswami's mood is that he doesn't want to depend on any external arrangements, on the opulence. He wants to approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with full, as a person who has left everything and is fully dependent on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not depending on any other external arrangements. So like this, he meets his brother-in-law there in Shrikanta on the way. And when he meets Shrikanta there, he was gifted by a very nice, rich blanket, which he carries along with him. And finally he reaches Varanasi, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying at the residence of one of his associates called Chandrasekhara Acharya. He was also a great devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as he reaches Chandrasekhara Acharya's residence, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he knows that my devotee has finally reached here. Needless to go and peep out and check. to know whether my devotee has come. So he immediately says to ask Chandrasekhara to go outside and see that one Vaishnava has come. You please get him inside. So Chandrasekhara goes outside the house and sees here and there, and he comes back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and says, there is no Vaishnava outside. Because Sanatana Goswami, because past many days he has not eaten any food and his dress is not in a very proper order. A lot of hair very badly grown and a lot of beard, it practically looking like a mendicant. So he says that there is no one outside, there is no Vaishnava outside, but there is only a Muslim mendicant is standing there. There is no Vaishnava. So he says that get that Muslim mendicant inside. So Chandrasekhara Acharya doesn't know that he is Sanatana Goswami. So as soon as Sanatana Goswami enters his residence, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately gets up from his asan and rushes towards Sanatana Goswami and hugs him, embraces him. And Chandrasekhara Acharya is seeing all these things and wondering, what is this? So looking like a mendicant and that also looking like a Muslim, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is hugging him. So in that way, there was a great dealing between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami, when he meets, there is a very nice, interesting talk between them that is very important to understand, which reveals the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and also Sanatana Goswami. That is explained by the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Catching his hand, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took Sanatana Goswami inside and made him sit on an elevated place next to him. So how did he receive? He made him sit next to him. That is the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began cleansing Sanatana Goswami's body with his own transcendental hand, Sanatana Goswami said, "Oh my Lord, please do not touch me." You see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so compassionate and is personally cleaning the body of Sanatana Goswami. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching how to be humble, how to be meek. "Oh Lord," the Lord replied, "I am touching you just to purify myself, because by force of your devotional service you can purify the whole universe." Lord is saying, I am touching you to get myself purified. Lord is a purifier of the whole world, but he is thinking that by offering service to his devotee, who has so much determination to come and associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you just see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is inspired or is attracted to his devotee, who is ready to take any kind of risk to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes obliged to such a devotee and gives him a personal service. Saints of your caliber are themselves places of pilgrimage. Because of their purity, they are constant companions of the Lord, and therefore they can purify even the places of pilgrimage. Then the author gives more references to the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, saying that how a devotee, he may be born in any family, but it doesn't matter. One may be born in a Brahmana family and have all 12 Brahmanical qualities. But if he is not devoted to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who has a navel shaped like a lotus, he is not as good as a Chandala who has dedicated his mind, words, activities, wealth and life to the service of the Lord. So a Brahmana may be very much advanced in his Brahmanical qualities, but he has not developed attachment for Krishna. The author says that he is not same as a Chandala, although he is low born, but he has developed, he's dedicated his mind, words and activities and even wealth and life to the service of the Lord. So a low born Chandala who is attracted and dedicated in Krishna consciousness and service of the Lord is far more superior than a Brahmana who although may have Brahmanical qualities but not developed devotion to Krishna. Simply to take birth in a Brahmana family or to have Brahmanical qualities is not sufficient. one must become a pure devotee of the Lord. If a Swapacha or Chandala is a devotee, he delivers not only himself, but his whole family. Whereas a Brahmana who is not a devotee, but simply has Brahmanical qualification, cannot even purify himself. What to speak of purifying his family? Further, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, by seeing you, by touching you, by glorifying your transcendental qualities, one can perfect the purpose of all sense activity. This is the verdict of revealed scriptures. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying how a pure devotee, especially those who have fully dedicated their mind, intelligence, their body in the service of the Lord, Mahaprabhu is saying here, simply by seeing them and by touching them and by glorifying their transcendental qualities, one can attain the perfection of life. And we are so fortunate, we are every day doing this in our daily sadhana. We have our sadhana life is so nicely modulated that we have this opportunity every day. We are daily able to touch the holy name. We are daily able to touch the spiritual master. We are able to serve him. We are able to glorify his transcendental qualities. So in that way we attain the perfection in spiritual life just by taking up these kind of activities. Further he says, my dear Sanatana, please hear from me. Krishna is very merciful and he is the deliverer of all fallen souls. Krishna has saved you from Maharaurava, life's deepest hell. He is the ocean of mercy and his activities are very great. So in reply to this, Sanatan Goswami says, I do not know who is Krishna. This is what he is saying. I do not know who is Krishna, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Krishna has saved you. And Sanatan Goswami is saying, I do not know who Krishna is. As far as I am concerned, I have been released from prison only by your mercy. So you see how Sanatan Goswami is not that he doesn't really know Krishna, but how he is dedicating himself, his exclusive surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is also not different from Krishna. His mood is being projected here. So like this Sanatana Goswami, he remains in Varanasi for some time and receives instructions from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further instructs his associates, Tapana Mishra and Chandrasekhara, to give him some good cloth, because he was very badly dressed, not shaven-faced, ugly-faced, very disheaved hair, looking like literally a mendicant. So Tapana Mishra takes him to Ganges and gives him a clean shave and asks him to properly, nicely dress. And Tapana Mishra gives him a new dress, a new cloth he gives. So whenever we get some new cloth, we'll be very happy. Naya kapda mil gaya. So naya dhoti kurta aa gaya. But Sanatana Goswami, when he was offered a new dress, a new dhoti, so he immediately refused. Please, I don't want old new dhoti. If you have any old dhoti, if you please be merciful unto me and give me the old dhoti. So Tapana Mishra gives him that old dhoti and he tears the old dhoti into two. ये क्या बात हुई? एक तो नया धोती नहीं मांगा, पुराना धोती मांगा और उसको भी फाड़ दिया. So he tears it to two and he uses one cloth as a popin, as an underwear, and uses another part to, as a loin cloth he wears around his loin. So like this, Sanatan Goswami takes the role of a mendicant without bothering much for external facilities and remaining very simple and teaching to the world that how a sannyasi should be very simple and humble without not bothering for external requirements. In Shadgoswami Ashtakam, it is mentioned, Taktva Turnamashesha Mandalapati. They are a Mandalapati, whole nation was under their direction. So they are Mandalapatis, they were ministers. But by the blessings and mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they could become a humble and menial servant, take up the role of a renunciant as a sannyasi, and even for the sake of their bodily maintenance, they were not so much dependent on any external arrangement. When Tapana Mishra and Chandrasekhar called Sanatana Goswami to come for the lunch daily, as long as he is living in Varanasi, Sanatana Goswami said that for a mendicant to take a food at a house at regular intervals is not so appreciated. So he took the role of a Madhukari, where he begs from different householders and maintains himself, and whatever food comes in his pot is a food that is to be consumed. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard of these behavior of Sanatana Goswami, so he was very much pleased by the attitude and behavior of Sanatana Goswami. But there was one last thing that was left with Sanatana Goswami, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was constantly pointing out at and staring at. What is that? Blanket. So the blanket, what kind of blanket is that? Very rich, opulent blanket. He was carrying with me, I was carrying with him, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would constantly gaze and stare at Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami understood that why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is staring at me. There is a saying, Samajdar ko ishara kafi hai. So Sanatana Goswami understood. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't approve me wearing this, because he did not have anything else with him other than this. He was simply on a loin cloth and the kamandalu and the begging bowl. So he had only the blanket left with him, a rich opulent blanket left with him. And he understood that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not approving me carrying this rich blanket. So he immediately go to the banks of Ganges, where a poor Brahmana, a poor mendicant, he had washed his old torn quilt and he had put for drying, and he requests that mendicant to exchange his old cloth with a new one. So this is a big bonus and bonanza for the mendicant. He thought that he must be joking. बकवास मत करो, ऐसा मेरा हाथ से मत उड़ाओ, please don't tease me like this. So Sanatana Goswami really said, what I speak sense. Please give me your old cloth and take this new cloth with you. So like that he exchanges and uses the torn old cloth, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu learns this behavior of Sanatana Goswami, and he was very, very pleased, and he says few important instructions to Sanatana Goswami, which is very important for anyone who is practicing in Krishna consciousness. So Sanatana Goswami was addressed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looking at this behavior of Sanatana Goswami. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, I have already deliberately considered this matter. What is that matter? The Sanatana Goswami using the rich blanket. Since the Lord Krishna is very merciful, he has nullified your attachment for material things. Why should Krishna allow you to maintain a last bit of material attachment? Then why this last one thing? After vanquishing a disease, a good physician does not allow any of the disease to remain. Any good, sane, genuine physician, he will try to cure the diseased person even with the last trace of disease left. So that's what, and who is a physician here? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is a physician here. And he is saying that a good physician will vanquish a disease and does not allow even any last remain portion of the diseased symptoms. It is contradictory to practice Madhukari and at the same time wear a valuable blanket. One loses his spiritual strength. Very important to understand this. one loses his spiritual strength by doing this, and one will also become an object of joke. No, so much Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sensitizing, not just Sanatana Goswami, for all of us. That now we can say Sanatana Goswami is a mendicant. Of course, a sannyasi will practice the highest practice of renunciation, and in that state of a position of as a mendicant, it is a contradictory that I myself project myself as a mendicant doing Madhukari, but at the same time I have some valuable thing. How does it look if I wear a nice gold and rings and gold rings and also go to beg? It's a very contradictory thing. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying here. It's a contradictory practice. And what happens? One loses his spiritual strength by doing this. Because our focus will be on the object of opulence, not on the purpose of renunciation. So that is an important instruction for devotees who are in the process of Krishna consciousness, that one should be very cautious that desire for accumulating things is not developing in one's heart, because because one loses spiritual strength by doing this. It will weaken one's desire to advance in Krishna consciousness, because it is contradictory, because both the things cannot go together. Desire to advance in Krishna consciousness, at the same time desire to having material opulence doesn't go together. One has to choose one of them. Of course, we have the pastimes where devotees of Lord Krishna also have been very opulent, like Pandavas. They were given opulence, but they knew how to handle the opulence at the same time. They were Kshatriyas, they were Grihasthas then. But here, Lord is teaching the highest mood of renunciation, that one should give up. One should give up all attachment for material wealth, and one should not, especially a person who has taken up the process of preaching Krishna consciousness. A preacher should exemplify himself by showing not any desire to mobilize possessions. He is free. If something is going out of hand, he will allow it to go out of hand. He is not attached to any possession in his hand. He is not disturbed. He is not, although in the process of our preaching engagement, sometimes we may be given many valuables, many possessions. But those possessions are given for the sake of conducting one's Krishna conscious activities, not that one develop attachment for those objects. And when those objects are, the test for attachment is very, very simple. If the object is going out of the hand, what is running in our heart? No. Are we feeling pain? No. Are we feeling disturbed? Or are we lamenting for not having some object in comparison with someone else? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching that a person who is taken up to the process of renunciation, he should be very, very much vigilant that such desire to have possession for material objects is not developing in his heart. And it is very detrimental. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says one will become an object of joke. World will make a fun. Actually, some time back, one sannyasi, I saw him. It's a fact. He was wearing so many gold here, gold here, gold here, everywhere gold, but in saffron robes. So naturally, it will be an object of joke, because a sannyasi cannot be like that. It's highly contradictory that one proposes himself as a mendicant and in the saffron robe as a sannyasi, but at the same time looking very materially opulent, which shows a contradicting nature. So that is what we can understand here. So like this, the whole life of Sanatana Goswami is very, very inspiring. It's not enough for that in one go we can discuss about his glorious position. So Sanatana Goswami, then he remained in Varanasi, took instructions from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the purpose of life, on the science of devotional service. And further, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Sanatana Goswami to leave Varanasi and remain in Vrindavana. And along with other Goswamis, he compiled many literatures like Brihat Bhagavatamrita, like Hari Bhakta Vilasa, Krishna Lila Sthava. There are many such great writings which Sanatana Goswami gave to the mankind. Of course, we are not in a position to, we are so dull-headed, we are so dumb that their state of mood and writings, we cannot directly understand them. So the conclusions of Sanatana Goswami's teachings are presented to us by our Acharya through his teachings. So in that way, we need not be feeling like, no, how will I read those books left by Sanatana Goswami, by Rupa Goswami? So our Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, has given those conclusions based on the references, because in this, while Prabhupada is in many places, he is referring to teachings of Sanatana Goswami and presenting to us in a way that we can understand. That is the way how we worship Sanatana Goswami, through accepting the instructions by the current spiritual master, by Srila Prabhupada, and understand the mood and teachings of Sanatana Goswami through our Acharya Srila Prabhupada. So like that, Sanatana Goswami engaged himself in the science of Krishna consciousness, and he excavated many lost holy places, pastime places in Vrindavana, like Govardhana Hill and many other Rasa Sthali and many other pastime places of Krishna. And he had a practice of every day going on a Govardhana Parikrama. So Sanatana Goswami used to initially reside at Mahavana, and then later on we know the pastime how Sanatana Goswami got the deities of Madana Mohana, and he remained in Vrindavana at Dvadasha Aditya Tila, and through the help of a merchant he constructed a temple of Radha Madan Mohanji there, and he used to worship him. We know how Radha Madan Mohanji and Sanatana Goswami used to personally interact, and those sweet pastimes and conversations between them, we know that. And Sanatana Goswami, then when he became very old, he was not able to visit, of course, although he was not able to visit, although he was getting old, but still he was determined to do the parikrama of Govardhana Hill to fulfill his vow. So Lord Krishna, in the form of a small boy, he requests him that, why are you doing parikrama of Govardhana at such an elderly old age? So he gives him Govardhana Shila, having the mark of calf hoof print with print of the flute, and requests him, you do your parikrama with this Govardhana Shila, and that makes good, as if you have gone to Govardhana Hill and done the parikrama there. So Sanatana Goswami understood this is another, and Krishna himself is guiding. So even today we see that Shila, Govardhana Shila in Radha Damodar temple, the deity is worshipped by Jiva Goswami. So in that way, Sanatana Goswami exhibited his wonderful humility and determination to serve Lord Chaitanya, and in that way he remained in Vrindavana for most part of his life. Almost 40 years he lived in Vrindavana, although for a year he went to Jagannath Puri to associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during Rath Yatra, but more so he lived in Vrindavana. His Samadhi Mandir is still seen in the same place where the Madan Mohanji temple is there. And it is believed that he passed away, he left this world, he disappeared from this world in 1558. So that was his, that old he was when he left, actually, almost 80 years when he physically left this world. And his temple, his Samadhi Mandir, his Bhajan Kutir, the place where he lived, is still a place of pilgrimage for Gaudiya Vaishnava. And devotees, when they visit, they derive that energy and inspiration from Sanatan Goswami, that how he surrendered himself to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission amidst all troubles. And it shows that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful to his devotees who are dedicated to his mission amidst all troubles. So this is what we understand from the life of Sanatana Goswami. We'll stop here. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki, Srila Sanatana Goswami ki, Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki.